The evening before lockdown, a friend of mine sent me a picture of this huge Scandinavian Advent star. Put up in a window on display for everyone to see way too early. But I totally understand why, because 2020 has been a really dark year. More of us than in any other year have experienced darkness. We've seen it, we've felt it, we've been exposed to it in different ways. And I'm wondering, is it just me, or are you craving light as well? Is it just me, or have you understood more of your need for light in your life? God is light, and we know that the first thing he made was light. It was light and it was good. And that means that when he came around to making you and me, we were made to live lives in the light. And what's devastating these days is the clear contrast between the lives we're made to live in the light and what we're currently experiencing, and the huge proportion of darkness. For me, a reminder was last week when I read the teeny tiny headline in the Oxford Mail that said, in March, so pre any of the financial implications of these two lockdowns, there were 7,061 children living in families living below the breadline. That's 26% of the children in our city growing up below the poverty line. For me, that description of darkness hit me hard. For you, it might be one of the many, many other headlines. Terrorist attacks, riots, COVID, financial challenges and struggles, mental health. It seems like the list just keeps on going on and on and on. There is so much darkness surrounding us. But in the midst of that, let us hold on and remember the fact that we are made to live lives in the light. And if we look in the Bible, yes, there is a description of darkness there. Yes, there is darkness in the world. But there is also description of light. And the biblical promise is that light defeats darkness. Darkness doesn't stand a chance. Darkness does not win. Jesus is the light of the world and he wins. And Jesus is the light of the world that is needed at this time. So I was looking at a few of these descriptions, and in Ephesians 5 it says, "For one time you were in darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light." In 1 John 1 it says, "If we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another." And then finally in John 8, Jesus' own words when he says and proclaims, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." The descriptions of light are closely related to the description of walking. An active way of doing life, something we choose to do. In the Bible, to walk is usually used as a metaphor, as a way of describing how someone chooses to live their lives, their spiritual character, their course, their relations. But this time around, when I read it, it popped out as like, yes, to walk. That's one thing that we're still allowed to do. We're still allowed to walk through this second lockdown. So we can walk and we can walk and we can walk. But we could choose to walk in the light, and we could choose to carry the light with us as we walk. The theologian Charles Spurgeon said, "The Bible is not the light of the world. It is the light of the church." But the world does not read the Bible. The world reads Christians. It's based off Jesus' teaching on how we, you and me, are the light of the world, and how that light shouldn't be hidden but put on display for everyone to see so they can point to God. So what if, through this lockdown, the lights that are shining, It's not my huge, massive Advent star that will appear in my window in a couple of weeks' time, nor is it the other Christmas decorations coming up. But the light shining in Oxford through this lockdown is you and it's me. As we walk in the light and as we carry the light. As we seek to love people well, to care for them and to pray for them, why don't we all pray, God, will you show us how to carry your light, where to carry your light and to whom, so that we can be the light shining in the darkness and pointing to the light of the world that we all need in the time, that we all need at this time. Let us walk in the light, carrying his light.